Vendor tech support, after sales service. Is it a scam or is it a solution? You know, the last 25 years, we've always bought products and needed after sales support. The question that's on my mind is that we've seen a number of things develop around vendor technical support. Over the last year, I've been asking engineers and people who've been experiencing after sales support, what is it that they've actually been getting? And there's stories of horror and the fact that people don't think they're getting fair value for money and the fact that vendor support seems to have been a problem has got me thinking, right? What is it about tech support that we have? What is it that we get? And are we getting to the situation where the rewards are starting to look more like a scam because we buy it and it creates false incentives? Or is it actually something that we actually need? Let's dig into that. 10, 15, 20 years ago, we used to buy products that had bugs in them. We knew that. We knew that our technology was substandard. We knew that it wasn't complete. And so not only did we pay a very substantial price to buy an asset, we also knew that it was a lemon. We knew that it was faulty, we knew that it was buggy, and we knew that we were going to have to pay for after-sales support. Now, the second part of tech support, of course, is that it's complex. A lot of technology products weren't very good at building on user interfaces. The fact that they worked at all was kind of a miracle, and as the years go by, that's less of a case. The thing that I think that's really happened with after-sales support is it's gone from we genuinely want to support our product. We sold you a high-priced product. It's got, you know, measured in 6 digits, 7 digits, 8 digits for an entire solution, and it's not working. So we have after-sales support. Now, if you've got a product that's the case, right, then your primary revenue opportunity is in the product sale, and after-sales support is about maintaining customer happiness and generating the return. But that's no longer true because we actually pay for the after-sales support. Imagine if you bought a car and you spent $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 on buying your vehicle, plus you paid $5,000 a month to keep the car on the road. If the car was broken constantly, would you continue to pay that $5,000 a month? Would you buy the car? Now that's the metaphor that we get when we talk about vendor technical support. So, 10, 15 years ago, tech support was sold to us on the basis that it was going to be, you know, the product was faulty, we have to keep development, you have to pay us so that we can have the software developers going to keep buying you the product. But you've also got to pay for the cost of developing the product and the cost of building the product. Overall, the quality of the tech support service has been degrading fairly substantially, especially from the very big vendors over the last 5 years, specifically over the last 5 years. As enterprise IT is taking a tumble, it seems logical to assume that the vendors are cutting corners here. And why not? Right? Because if you cut corners on tech support, no one's going to notice straight away. So if you cut 20% or 30% out of the budget of a tech support, so you can quickly cut costs by cutting the budget of the tech support with the intention, fully and honestly believing that one day you'll reinstate them, except you don't. Because, why, you know how big companies work. Once you've cut the budget out, no one's going to come back to you in the future, okay? They're just not going to reinstate the budget. There's absolutely no reason why it wouldn't. I agree that tech support is sometimes more than just broken product need fix. It's also about providing customer with support on your product because it's very complex. I don't entirely believe that argument. In 2017, if your product is complicated, you've probably not done the right work. You haven't done enough work to justify the money that you're spending because it must be incomplete. There's no need for a complex product in 2017. You can simplify. We know that because in the consumer market, where much bigger sums of money are at stake, they've simplified product to the point where smartphones, enormously complicated computing systems, are now easy to understand, easily used by grandmas who have no intention of using them. They can use FaceTime, they can use email for the first time without requiring weeks or months of training like we used to 20 years ago when WordPerfect was out. You're often told that you're buying a quality product or a premium product, and that's why your product is so expensive. Now, is that true? You know, in IT, it's actually very hard to justify to me that you are actually buying a premium product. You're buying a product, you know, a product that comes from a big company, and it was supposedly because they're a big company, they had resources that no other company could have. And yet what we're seeing is that startups are able to produce a premium product at a fraction of the price. The only difference is you as a customer have a different perception on what's needed. Do you think that the product that comes from big company A is the same as a Hermes handbag, or is it the same, or is it actually like a Rolls-Royce where it is genuinely over-engineered? There is time taken to produce high quality. Well, a Rolls-Royce doesn't break down in the field. a Hermes handbag lasts forever and doesn't require a support contract. If your product is so complicated and it's hard to use, what are resellers for? Resellers exist in the market to integrate these products, to solve the integration hassles, to give you the advice that the vendors can't give you because the vendor doesn't understand your specific situation. But if I now have to have a vendor support agreement and I have to give margin pay a profit margin to the resellers, as well as paying a premium price to the vendor, where's the win in this for the customer? Is this actually a balanced equation? One of the things that I'm increasingly starting to think about is whether vendors are producing faulty products. Probably not deliberately. It's probably creeping in at a cultural level, right? Now we just got to think about it at a cultural level, right? Let me just kick out a framework for which you talk about. If I was making a faulty product and I knew that it wasn't going to be the best and I knew it wasn't going to be well, how can I justify a high price for my product? I can have a world-class technical support, a best of breed, expensive, well put together, staffed by experts who have unlimited resources, and as soon as you have a problem, because the product's not very good, then there are faults, it's complicated, it's whatever. Huge tech support organization that's able to solve these problems and justify the premium price. Why am I paying a premium price? Why don't I just have a cheap price and have tech support? If I'm in an organization where I know there's a premium, now here's where the false incentives come in. If I'm working for a big company and I know I've got really good tech support and it's well funded and well staffed and there's an excellent routine for detecting bugs that customers report and all that sort of stuff, when I'm making that product, I might just get a little lazy. I might say, we'll just ship that. Customers will find the bugs and we'll fix it later. Don't worry about it. We'll skip the test just this once. Or the product manager's out there saying, ship it right now. And you think to yourself, well, I've really got 6 weeks of testing, or I've got some soak testing, or you know what? It's Friday afternoon. I just want to go home. Let's just skip the test, ship it, and the customers, the customers will find the bugs, report them, and we'll fix them next time around, And because we've got great tech support, the customer won't even notice. It won't even show up in the rankings. So, what do you think? Is tech support a scam? If you're paying a premium price for a product, and then you're paying a premium price for tech support, and you're paying for resellers to help you make sure that the complexities of the product or the bugs in the products are being solved, that sounds a bit sort of like a problem, because the false incentives are there for the vendor to produce complex, hard to use products, because then you're forced to pay for tech support. You've got a problem where resellers know that when they put the system in and it gets integrated, the customer can get tech support from either them or for the vendor. So incentives to skip a couple of corners and buy a substance. We've also got the situation where customers convince themselves, instead of doing due diligence and taking ownership of the problem and saying, you know what, Mr. Vendor, you really need to solve all of these problems, or they say, don't worry about it, we've got tech support, we can do it afterwards. Here's my summary of the problem. If your vendor has a world-class tech support, the question is it because the product is so bad that you absolutely have to have world-class technical support? I'm Greg Farrow from the Packet Pushers. Catch you later.